Hi, this is Connor the Landscape Guy, and today I would like to show you a special construction site. It's about the preparation and construction of a mortared natural stone wall. It's not just any wall, but a wall located within the courtyard of the beautiful castle of Biedenkopf in Hessen, where a privy house was recently demolished. The house had been built for museum visitors of the castle and wasn't a part of the historic building. The original castle was built as early as the 12th century, and all the walls were built of natural stone, mostly greywacke, which is like a dark sandstone. They want to use the castle courtyard as a venue for concerts and so on, and therefore, the non-historical small, half-timbered house must be torn down. The demolition of the bottom slab is carried out with the Komatsu PC35 excavator and a hydraulic breaker. With the aid of a Schäffer SLT wheel loader, the crushed concrete rubble is removed from the castle courtyard and loaded into a transport container. In this place, a gravel base layer is laid down so that it can be paved here later. Back here, this height difference is to be intercepted by a natural stone retaining wall. For this purpose, a half-meter deep foundation of concrete in wall width is created. The first row of natural stones is already embedded into the foundation. It's important that it's built as much as possible in the style of the existing walls, so that it integrates well into the overall picture. That includes the correct natural stone material. Mostly regional stones were used in this case, specifically a light greywacke. In addition, if possible, a mortar with the corresponding color should be used. Once all materials are on site, then you still need two experts who can construct the wall the same style as the castle. And there they are, the natural stone specialists Nico and Vangjeli. They first put on a mason's cord to make it easier to align the wall and achieve a proper inclination. Because the wall should be slightly wider at the bottom than at the top, the cords are attached to pins so that they can be moved up and down. Now it depends on the experience of the two masons. Each stone is shaped and adjusted with the hammer. The greywacke sometimes is very porous and therefore breaks easier, which makes the process more difficult. The ready mixed mortar is mixed on site with water in the mixing machine and is used immediately. The lower part of the retaining wall has only one viewing side. However, the back of the wall must also be built with stones and mortar, so that the wall is stable later. Nico places special emphasis on the cornerstones, which must have two viewing sides with almost 90 degrees to each other, as well as fit the underlying stones so that no double cross joints occur. It is important to build the wall without two cross joints on top of each other, not only for stability but also for the appearance. So Nico and Vangjeli keep carving, adjusting and hewing the stones row by row. Some natural stones strongly absorb moisture. Therefore, this mortar is particularly suitable because it can also be used as grout at the same time. The joints are being filled and smeared. Now the wall has almost reached its final height. The rear upper wall will be visible. Vangjeli closes the joints carefully here too. The top row is now laid. For this purpose, the cord is pushed up to the final height and is used to get the top layer nice and straight. Now, in addition to avoiding double cross joints, attention must be paid to the side and top views and the correct stone thickness. Then you get a level and even appearance of the masonry top. The processing of the last row of stones is therefore a little more elaborate. Here it is particularly important that the joints are well mortared and smeared, so that later the least amount of water will seep into the wall. A cover plate is omitted in this case for aesthetic reasons.
Hat Nico gemacht, ne? Schön. Letzter Stein.
It's always amazing how these two brothers create such a straight wall out of supposedly misshapen natural stones. Here the last stone is still missing on the top row of the corner.
Der Vangjeli, ja.
Nico closes the gaps with smaller stones, ensuring that the joints that are visible later are equal width apart and installed at the correct height. The masonry work is now done, and the quartz can be removed. Now the joints can be closed with fresh mortar. The natural stone used here is relatively hard with smooth surface. Therefore the joints can be smeared well without the excess grout immediately adhering to the stone. The mortar now hardens for a few hours before it goes into the final processing phase because the wall is not done yet. The excess grout material is now removed from the stones in several steps. First, the rough part of the mortar is cleaned with a wire brush. At the corner, Nico works very carefully so that the joint is not damaged. In the second step, the fine portion of the mortar is swept with a hand brush and at the same time provides the joint with the desired finer surface. The cleaning of the joints really brings out the stones and makes the wall look even more natural. The deeper the gap is swept, the more natural the wall will look later. In this case, it's about optically adapting the joint of the surrounding walls. You can clearly see how the stones of the new wall are now really coming into their own. The joints will become brighter after some time and adapt even better to the existing walls. Now only the surface in front of the wall has to be paved, and then the courtyard can be fully used in the castle of Biedenkopf. The result of the new wall is impressive and blends seamlessly into the castle ambience. The video description contains links to the materials and tools used. This video was created with the kind support of Boulders Landscaping Construction Company. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for your support. Until next time, I'm Carl the Landscape Guy.